What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Just As TV. Thank you guys for stopping by. Guess what this is, child? Y'all already seen the thumbnail. Yes. Love at the Lockup, episode 39. Episode 39, Rules of Engagement. Child, this is Rules of Engagement. So this is episode Love at the Lockup, episode 39, Rules of Engagement. Like I always say, we here for a good time, not a long time. Let's get right into it, child, because this is getting messy. This is getting messy, child. Messy is just the beginning of it. So we're going to start off with who today? Somebody that's not so spicy, but I feel like everybody's spicy. But we're going to start off with Julian and Christine. We're going to start off with Julian and Christine. And then we're going to go to Kim and Joey, right? Because it was spicy. This episode was a little bit spicy. So Julian and Christine. So Christine, she's been out. She's been out for a month already. Now and then we pretty much catch them. Oh, let me turn this off. Sorry. So Julian and Christine. So Julian and Christine's been out for a month, and we kind of like catch them the day after that Julian told her that he lost his job. So they had been arguing for a while, most of the night, and it kind of like spilled out into the street. It was loud. They was doing too much. She don't know what's going on. Julian is still interviewing, for another marketing position because he's trying to hurry up and fill. He trying to hurry up and get a job before his severance runs out so that he could take care of his peoples. Christine is currently making flyers because she's having her first comedy show, her first stand-up comedy show in a few days. Her mother always wanted her to be a comedian, and, she kind of like holds that near and dear to her heart, and that is what she wants to pursue. She has a good time doing it in prison, and she still wants to pursue it outside of prison because clearly she's hilarious. Let's see. I haven't heard her tell a joke yet. It's been how many episodes, and I ain't hear her tell a joke yet. But we'll see how funny this goes. She says she says she's naturally done comedy. I got this cat over here. She says she's naturally done comedy, and she guess it stemmed from her childhood trauma. I have yet to hear her do comedy yet. Anything funny? I haven't heard it. She says when the kids are at the house, she watches it, and that's what she writes. She writes the comedy, and she watches it. Comedy shows when the kids are at the house, because remember, she's playing hide and seek for like 5 or 6 hours, sometimes half a day. So we'll see, child. Julian thinks that she should focus more on work and picking up some extra shifts to cover some of the bills that they got coming in. And she says she knows that it's going to take a lot of money or a little bit of money, but she doesn't feel like it'll affect anything. And I'm just like, okay, girl. He tells her that she's not that funny, and it took him a little while to warm up to her humor or even understand her humor, and he feels that it's going to happen the same way with other people. Child, don't hurt her feelings because you ain't got a job. That's how I feel that he's doing. So we find Christine getting ready for her comedy show that night, and she's a little bit nervous. She leaves a little reminder for Julian because initially when they had spoke the last time, she wasn't sure if Julian was going to actually show up because he said he doesn't know. And she's a little bit nervous. So she gets to the venue, and a lot of her coworkers are there to support her, which is great because she needs some support. And she tell them all her business. Why not go support her child? Support that child. So she says she's moving forward with her life, and she hopes that Julian can keep up. But she's moving forward on his dime. So we'll see how that goes. And that is Christina and Julian this episode. So let's move on to Kim and Joey. Yeah, we're going to move on to Kim and Joey. So Kim is getting ready for the engagement party. Y'all already know last episode he spent $2,200 on the rims, and she already knew that she had money to pay for the engagement party. He said he don't care about the engagement party. He wants her to marry her as is. So we kind of like pick up from there. She is getting ready for the engagement party that is currently tonight. She's not happy, and she can't get happy because she's still thinking about their finances. He's spending money willy-nilly, and she got to pay money willy-nilly. And remember, she's doing all of this on a teacher's salary. Child, a teacher's salary. Not a principal, not a social worker, not a guidance counselor, child. She is a teacher. She says she spent $2,000 on his engagement. So within a week's time, they've already spent $4,200. How much does she have saved up, child? Because they are burning through it. Burning through it. She said that's even more money out of her pocket. Yes, ma'am. You don't need to have an engagement party because I don't know if this is going to last. I don't know. Her and Joey discussed their days, and she explains that she got a friend request from his ex. Little Bit Stalker is moving on to stalking both of them now. Not just him, and not just talking to him. She's stalking both of them. And I don't feel like she's a stalker because he's entertaining her. She's not stalking him. He's entertaining her, like I told y'all last episode. Y'all ain't seen my last video. Y'all need to go back and watch my review. She's not stalking him because he's entertaining her. He's talking to her on multiple apps that we find out over here. So he says that it's not a big deal that she requested a friendship and a friend request from her, and she said, you may not think it's a big deal, but it's a big deal to me, which I agree. Why is this girl still around after 20 years? What's happening, right? What he didn't tell her was that he was still talking to the girl and still responding to the girl, right? So Kim says it's not a big deal to you, but she's stalking me, technically, so long, Like I said, he's not disclosing that he's still talking to her on multiple apps, right? Because I feel like a woman is not going to stick around for 20 years if she doesn't have hope, or you're not making her believe that she has hope. There's no way that a woman is going to be in your life for 20 years, constantly connecting with you, writing you in prison, and now trying to get to your current girlfriend, knowing that this is your girlfriend. If she doesn't believe that y'all have hope, potential, or y'all are in a relationship, there's no woman that's going to stick around like that. Some women are stupid and will, but the majority of women are not going to stick around if they know that you are with somebody else, pursuing somebody else, whatever the case may be. The majority of them are not. Yeah. And for 20 years, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So Kim asked a question that I've been screaming at my TV this whole episode. How did she get this number? Again, I already told y'all last review. This was a new phone number. How did she get the number? He says that his friend Mike gave that number, which Mike did admit because she was asking for the number, but he asked him, can he give her the number before he gave her the number? So you approved of the number being given. So you can't put it all on Mike, homeboy. You cannot put it all on Mike because you said, sure, give her the number. When you could have told Mike no, and Mike would have told her, he said, I can't give you the number. And that would have been squashed because you're entertaining her. You like having conversations with her. You like talking to her. You like keeping her around. For some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, I don't know why. Yeah. So, yeah. He says she keeps texting him and it won't stop. She even sent him a request on WhatsApp. But they have a conversation going on WhatsApp. She checks his phone and finds out that they have a conversation going on through WhatsApp too. So he's communicating with her on more than one platform. You don't have to communicate with her if you really don't want to. Okay? I'm just saying. You could ignore her. You can block her. You can not accept her friend request, but you have several conversations going on several different apps. So you're entertaining her, like I said. They get to arguing because he's not telling her that he didn't tell her that all of this stuff was going on. And she has every right to question his motives and what's going on. And he gets mad and doesn't tell her. So Kim notices that he's entertaining her. And I'm glad she said that he's entertaining her, because he is. He is having conversations with her. You know, he's sending her messages telling her what he's doing. That's entertaining her. And that's keeping her in your harem. That's what that is. He snatches the phone from her because, you know, she was looking at his phone, and he walks out and drives off. He says F this engagement party, and that she should either go by herself or take his ex. Child, why? Because you don't want to have the conversation because you're entertaining her foolishness? Child, stop it. Please stop it. Please and thank you. Just stop. Right? Please. So Joey, he's driving around and he's pissed. You know, he's cussing out his ex, talking about, I don't understand why this bitch did this, and why she keep doing this, and and you know, about everything that happened with Kim. And I'm just like, sir, you blame everybody but yourself. You blame everybody but yourself, because you, like I said, entertaining her foolishness, because she didn't have to get your number. This is a brand new phone, a brand new number. She didn't have to get that number. You're entertaining her, so blame yourself too. You can't just blame her, because she's not gonna stop. She already showed you she's not gonna stop. She's been doing it for 20 years. You got to blame yourself as well, because you opened the door and the floodgates came in. It is what it is. He said he's going to meet up with his ex, and you know, and he says he wants to delete her out of his life and get it over with for good. And I'm just like, you don't need to meet up with her to do that. You could just handle what you need to handle. You don't need to meet up with her to do it. You don't. You really don't. There's things that happen and transpire that you don't need other people around for, that you have control of. Like I said, you don't need to meet up with her to do it. Let's skip to Letitia and Keith, because they had a pretty short-lived story this episode as well. So Letitia, she's at home with her family. You know, she's stressed out. She looks stressed out. And her two daughters are there, and of course his aunt there. I think that was his aunt. Yeah. His aunt is there. She's explaining the situation to her kids. And I don't understand for the life of me why these women involve their kids in these situations with these men to this extent. Like, you don't have to tell them blow by blow what's happening. You don't have to tell them what's going on. You know, so she tells them that he's not coming out anytime soon. That, you know, she explains to them the situation and the fact that he might be coming out at the end of the year. Because remember, he has still 8 months on his sentence to on his 8 months to his sentence that he has to serve out. So the little girl breaks down crying because, you know, she claims that this is her everything, and that's the only father she knows. The oldest daughter, you could tell she don't really care too much. She don't really care. She said it before that she didn't really care, and she still don't care. You can see it in her face. So we learned that the oldest daughter's father lives where they live now, in the state that they live in now, and that she has a really close connection to the father. Like, she's really close to her dad. They spend time together. You know, he's a present father, and that's why she don't really care too much about this man, because he's just a man to her. Her dad is there, and her dad is, you know, doing what he's supposed to do as a father. Letitia explains that she kind of like gives them this bullcrap scenario that, oh, well, maybe, you know, because all of this stuff is happening to us, that we should move. Then she tells them that, oh, the property people are not doing what they're supposed to do. They didn't pay what they're supposed to pay, and we have to move. And I'm just like, you be gaslighting your own kids, and that's weird. That's weird. That's hella weird to me, that she be gaslighting her own kids. Child, I don't know. It is what it is. But she tells them that, and she tells them that that they have to move. So she's considering moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. She said she was supposed to be waiting until he came home before they moved, but now, you know, with the situation with the house, the fact that they wasn't paying, and that she has to move, so she might consider it now. The crazy thing is, she's worried about taking her oldest daughter away from her father, but she's not too worried, because that's the number one stop on the docket. She said even if she moves to a new state, that they would still release him to her. And I'm just like, okay, girl, okay. I'm hoping that she reconsiders, because I feel like if the oldest daughter has that connection with her dad, I feel like you should keep that connection with her dad. I just feel like you should. I don't feel like she should break that bond when you could just find another house in another area, in another area in that state. But that's just me. I don't know. I just feel like she was over exaggerating and stressing too much for nothing. So it is what it is. But let's move on. Y'all drop that in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that family dynamic in that situation. And y'all let me know if y'all see the manipulation with her kids. Drop that in the comments. Let me know. I don't know. So we're going to head over to Brianna and Daniel. Brianna is still eating with Daniel's family. The mother, father, and the cousin. Y'all already know last episode it ended with them having a conversation and them meeting up about their expectations of her when he gets released. You know, Daniel's mother says that she wants them to succeed. Brianna asks his cousin, why did he tell him not to marry her? The cousin said he didn't really do that, but then she explains that she saw the emails that he sent. And yes, in fact, you did say that, right? And she doesn't know why. And the cousin then explains that the reason why he said that is because they don't know each other very well. Daniel doesn't really know her very well. He doesn't, he hasn't been with her that long time. He doesn't really know her that well. And that's why he said what he said. He said that before she came into the picture, Daniel was scheduled to stay with him, and he was willing to help him get through what he needed to get through as far as his addiction and all that stuff like that. That's what he was there for. Brianna and Daniel's cousin, they go and sit by the pool because the dad and the mom left, and they talk about what it entails to be there and to take care of Daniel or help him through the situation. She explains that she knows Daniel relapsed while he was in prison. And she says it happened because stuff was around and he was mixed in with the wrong crowd. She said it wasn't his intentions. He just did it. So he's that just shows me that he could be peer pressured into doing something. And he's weak-willed. That's all that shows me, that you're telling me. That he's weak-willed and he's easily pressured into doing stuff. That's all that's telling me from her statement, from her mouth. And again, I say, she doesn't really understand the severity of this situation, and she doesn't understand what it's going to take for her to deal with him and a person that has an addiction. She says she's not worried about him relapsing. And I'm just like, you should be worried, because people who have addictions can relapse at any time for the smallest things, child, the smallest things. She doesn't know how to deal with it, and she says she likes to drink as well. Still, the cousin thinks that she has a drinking problem, and so do I. I've been saying that every episode thus far, the only thing that she's really discussed was her drinking, and the fact that she's gonna drink, and the fact that she likes to drink, and the fact that she's 22, and that's what she's gonna do: drinking and partying and turning up. Child, please. They finally get to D-Day, his release date, and she's really looking forward to him being released. She's pretty happy, and she's ready to spend the rest of her life with him, which is okay. But again, there's a big age gap there, and he has a 10-year-old kid. They have a lot of concern, or 11-year-old kid, I can't remember. And it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of moving parts to this relationship. She's also upset because his family will be there to meet him when he gets out of prison and to pick him up. And she did not expect that at all, because that's not what was in the plans. That's not what they discussed. She wanted to be the first one to receive him and, do all the things and, the things. Whatever. So she's a little bit upset that his family is going to be there. Girl, get over it. She is self-centered, and it shows. She's immature and self-centered. And I'm going to constantly say that she's immature and self-centered. She's going crazy around the house trying to find something to wear and to get out of the house on time, because she says she's not going to hold back in front of his family. She don't care. She's going to do what she needs to do in front of his family. She don't care if they're there or not. Mom and dad, they are already at the prison waiting for his release. They are also very excited. You could tell that his family really, really cares about him, because it's not only his mom and dad that's at the release, it's also his 2 cousins, the guy who she was speaking to, and then I'm assuming that that's his sister, the guy's sister, the cousin's sister. So his 2 cousins and mom and dad, they're there to greet him. And then they start arguing about her title, whether she's a fiance or a girlfriend or whatever the case may be, is in the fact that she don't have a ring, and the fact that she wants him to propose to her again, and a whole bunch of stupidness they're arguing for when it doesn't need to be argued about. It's stupid. It's just stupid. I feel like the cousin Robert, that's his name, cousin Robert. I feel like he is in love with Daniel, and he arguing with her. He's jealous of her and their relationship. I don't know. Sometimes it be like that, but I don't know. Maybe I could be really reaching. This is just allegedly. I don't know, but I feel like he is jealous of her and jealous that she derailed his plans, because it sounds like it, because he sounds like a bit of baby something, and he is jealous of what they're gonna have going on. I don't know. He says he hopes the best for them, but I don't really believe you, sir. I don't believe you. I do not believe you, child. I don't. I really don't. It's given no. So we're going to get into Zoe and Troy. So she's still flipping out, child. Y'all already know last episode, last review, she had a tantrum of a lifetime. She had the tantrum of a lifetime. When I tell you, she was flipping out, she was throwing stuff, she was saying stuff, she was doing stuff, all kinds of stuff. She almost slammed that the producer lady's hand in the door. She was having a fit. All because I feel like she's jealous of his baby mother and the relationship that they have. She's jealous. That lady, that baby mother, I promise you, lives rent-free in that girl's head. Because this whole episode in Confessions, all she spoke about was meeting her. What's she gonna say? Is she coming? What do they think? Da-da-da. She had so many questions about the baby mother. She had no questions about his child and the relationship that she's gonna have with his child, and how she should have a relationship with his child, and what they're gonna do with the child. She did not mention the child once. Her focus, she was hyper-focused on that baby mother, the mother of the child, because she's jealous of her. And that's just what I got out of the whole situation. I wrote it somewhere in my notes that she's jealous of that girl, because that girl is rent-free in her head. Keep watching, and y'all gonna see. The more and more this season goes on, the more and more she gonna talk about that baby mother. Yes, she is the mother of his child. So she told him that she's done. She throws the ring down on the floor, and it's done. She done. She tired. If she take off the ring again, they really, really done. Child. That's what she said. He said that he knew that she had a temper, and a lot of the times, but he thought he would be able to navigate it better. She's yelling about the infidelity and him missing for 3 hours or whatever the case may be with no phone, and they thought she thought the worst, and da-da-da-da-da. Child, she just going through it. She's going through it. She says how a year ago she went out with somebody and they slept together. They discussed it. He forgave her. Let's move on. She doesn't understand why the child's mother brought that up. She doesn't understand why the mother even repeated it on national TV. I told you, she's worried about her image. She's worried about the wrong things, and she's jealous. Those are the things that is governing this girl's life. That's what's happening here. She says she feels like she's being played. That's what's going on in her mind. That he's going to leave her for the child's mother. Jealousy is a wicked beast. Okay? Jealousy is a wicked beast. She is super jealous. She is very jealous of that girl. So let's see. Where are we? Right. I said it again. See, the whole time in my notes I wrote she's jealous of the woman that's not around. You got him. You here with him. You in a situation with him. He's in your house. He's your husband, and you're jealous of this woman that is not around. But sometimes it be like that. She says that he talks to her. He talks to Ayana, and talks about her in front of Ayana, and he talks to Ayana in front of her, and she feels some kind of way. Yeah, jealousy is a wicked thing, yo. She's only worried about seeing the kid's mother. That's what I put, like I told you before. Not even nothing to do with the child. Again, they finally leave to go to Buffalo after this crazy makeup that took like 2 seconds. The makeup took shorter than the tantrum. I was just like, what's happening here? I was shocked that they made up so quickly. But I'm assuming that he probably just wanted to get out the house and get on the road to go see his child. I'm going to chalk it up to that. Or editing. Either or. Because I was just like, they made up way too quick. They show a picture of his daughter. She is beautiful. She calls him to make sure that he's on her way. She's excited to see her dad. Child, 7 years is a long time. She's excited. He said he tries to do as much as possible for his daughter, because when he put in prison, she was 7 months, and now she's 7 years. He wants to be her everything. He wants to be in her life. He wants to take care of her. He wants to be everything for her, and he wants to be protective for her. He wants to be a present dad, pretty much. And kudos to him, because some people would just leave her on the wayside and don't think twice about it because he got a whole new family. But you can't take care of this lady's son and then not take care of your daughter, period. So kudos to him for being on the right mind track with his child. His whole family is there when they arrive. They miss him dearly. They love him. You could tell they love him. They want him around. His cousin was like, that's not my cousin. That's my brother. I miss him. He been going so long. Showing him mad love. They cooked out. Z has a conversation with, I don't know who the lady was because I didn't think they said it. I don't know if that's his cousin or his sister or whoever. But she has a conversation with a lady. And then before they end their conversation, she says, oh, who do you think is going to bring the child? And the girl was like, the mother, of course. Obsession is a terrible thing. Obsession is a terrible thing, child. Obsession is a terrible thing. The lady who she was talking to was like, she wants him to move back to Buffalo, so because he has a real support system there. He doesn't have a support system where they at, and they want to be there for him and make sure he all right and make sure he's taken care of. Not saying she's a bad person, but they want to be there to support him because he's gonna need all the support that he could get. I like that because some people throw you by the wayside, leave you there, and won't think twice about it and won't look back. Again, that lady lives rent free in that girl's head, though. The mother of that child lives rent free in Z's head. Sorry, girl. Sorry. I feel like you need to get your life together. You need to get your life together. Child, let's talk about True and Shontae. Child, it's the next day already. They done spent the night at the hotel. It's the next day. They're getting ready to go to the appointment. His appointment is in 30 minutes. He running around the house trying to rush, but he says he's always late to everything. And this is no exception. This parole officer got your life in his hands and you want to be late? Child, that's crazy. It's crazy. Shontae has access to his bank account. I don't know why they gave us that information. But I'm assuming for purposes of if he gets locked up, she has access to his bank account information. I would be all up in his business. I don't know. She says she's annoyed because they're back in the town that they broke up in. Girl, you're going to be more annoyed when you find out that he did the boom boom before y'all got there. But it is what it is. You're going to find out when you look back at this episode. Child, you're going to feel stupid. I wish they did interviews with them after the season finished and they watched the season themselves. I would love to see what she said about that situation. If she going to lie about it or cover it up, because that's what she was doing this whole episode. She says she's thinking about their relationship already. And I'm just like, y'all only been seeing each other for what, 2 days? 2 days? 2 days. And you already engrossed in that relationship all over again. He hasn't even solidified y'all relationship, but yet you are engrossed already, thinking about what's gonna happen. Shontae says if he goes back to prison, she leaving. Girl, I don't believe you. You're gonna be right there with him. You're gonna be right there with him, through thick and thin, like y'all married, because that's what your dumb butt gonna do. That's what you seem like you're gonna do. Anyway, so True is heading into the probation officer to find out if he'll have to serve time, for this violation. One, because they found out this information. Shontae is in tow right behind him, child. Right behind him. So we find out that he'll be placed on house arrest with an ankle monitor until he shows them proof of his living situations and his circumstance. I told y'all he gonna need some place to stay. I told y'all he only needs her for a short time or whatever the time is to get their situation together. He gonna rope her back in, and then he gonna end up terrorizing her. I'm telling you, all the bones are gonna fall out. She gonna find out where the body is buried. Eventually, if she stopped lying to herself. But we'll discuss that more later. He tells Shontae that he'll be doing house arrest with his friend. And I'm assuming that it's going to be the friend that he stopped off and did the boom boom with before he met up with her. We'll keep a close eye on him. And we'll see. The producers asked Shontae how she feels about it. And child, she sounds stupid. She sounds stupid. She also let us know that he could have been paroled to her house if he would have just filled out some paperwork, but he didn't. That right there should tell you everything you need to know, ma'am, that he's still using you. He's still using you. Because if he wasn't using you, he could have took the girl that he was supposed to be staying with him to the probation officer. But he knew that he was probation officer to you, so he had to come back to you to get you to go with him, to vouch for him, so that they wouldn't jam him up. Stupid. Using you. He's using you. He's using you. She's sad and upset because he's gonna be 5 hours away from her now. That's the least of your concerns, ma'am. That's the least of your concerns. You better be worried about an STI or something else, because he is sticking it in everything blowing. That's what you better be worried about. That 5 hour drive is the least of your concerns. That's the least of your concerns. You should be worried about the twins in your stomach, and you should be worried about your own wealth and your own well-being and your own health and a kid's health. That 5 hour drive, you shouldn't even worry about that. That shouldn't even be a thing. You know why? Because he put himself in that situation. You shouldn't be worried about that. That's his problem, not yours. Child, he is just the donor of the sperm. That's it. She says she doesn't know where she stands, and she's still ready to pursue a relationship with this fool. You're the fool. You're the biggest fool I see on TV. You're a dummy. You got egg all over your face. But yet here we are. You still wishing and hoping and holding on to a dream. All right, girl. They headed to the restaurant where they meet his sister-in-law, and because his sister-in-law is the girl's friend. She's the one who put him on to the girl. Now they been knowing each other since they was 13. This is a tricky situation. She helps True out from time to time. How is that so? If you're his sister-in-law, that means you're dealing with his brother. Why are you helping him out from time to time? It's weird. The whole dynamic is weird. So Shontae says she doesn't suspect that True is dealing with this girl, which is a sister. Her name is Kels, I think her name is. Kels, because of the bond with his brother. And I'm just like, I don't put anything past True. So girl, you're dumb. You just met back up with him for 2 days, and you already putting your full trust in him. Child, she has been bamboozled and hoodwinked, and she likes it. She is led astray, and she like it. Shontae is dumb. She, as big as she is, as grown as she is, she's dumb. She keeps lying to herself, and that's pretty much exactly what narcs like to do. He don't have to do nothing. He don't have to do no work, no nothing, because you continue to lie to yourself. And that's what they like. They like you to do all the work, let you lie to yourself, and they don't have to do no work. They don't have to do nothing because you continue to lie to yourself. Yeah, you're helping out the situation. That's you. It's okay. He already told Shontae that she's gonna have to do all the work in a relationship and come and see him. She's going to come back and forth down there, driving back and forth down there to go see him on a 5 hour drive, like she going to visit him in prison, and then she's pregnant. with twins, not one but two. And I've seen, trust me, I've seen twins being carried. Child, that's a load. That is a load. So you intend to have her drive 5 hours to see you. How often? I don't know. Where you're staying with some woman and she's pregnant. Got it. Yep. Yeah. Shontae is pregnant, and I feel like she'll do anything for him. So he feels that she would do anything for him too, and that she's gonna do it. That's what he tells the girl. She gonna do it. Just like that. Like, so nonchalant. Like, yeah, she gonna do it. I ain't gotta worry about her. It is what it is. He has no care or concern about how this is gonna affect her or her pregnancy or her life. He don't care. He didn't even think about it. He doesn't care at all. He doesn't care as long as it doesn't inconvenience him. That's how I feel that he feels about the situation. Child. That's what I feel. This woman, Kels, brings up the fact that that she's pregnant, and that the house arrest could be for a minute, which they said the house arrest could be for like 2 years. They were saying this is the conversation they had, and you know, she says if the house arrest is this long, what is she gonna do if she has the babies? And what's gonna happen? You know what this fool says? This fool says, I didn't even think about that. Again, his brain is stuck in an 8-year-old that he got locked up at. That's where his brain is. I didn't think about it. And I was just like, okay, sir. Okay. He doesn't care about anything outside of himself. Nothing. He doesn't care, and he doesn't think about anything outside of himself. You know, he's going to take Shontae to meet Peppa now, and this is going to be the woman that he's staying with. That's where he's going to take her to see. And it kind of pretty much goes off on them like that. So then we're going to talk about the final couple, which is Hope and Arthur. Right? So it's been 10 weeks since Arthur's release. So that's like, what, 2.5 months, 2.5 months? And Hope's sisters are coming to visit her, right? She will be revealing to her sisters and her family her relationship with Arthur for the first time today, right? She's worried because her sisters is extremely judgmental, which I kind of got that from the show, but it's judgmental in a good way, but we'll discuss. And she doesn't know what to expect. She should be, because Arthur got a lot going on with him. So she should be. And any person with eyes can see that Arthur needs more help than probably what she can provide for him. So the sister shows up to meet her first, and they meet at a restaurant, and she just rips the Band-Aid off right away and tells them, you know, that she has a boyfriend, and she tells them the situation, and they have a conversation about the situation and kind of discuss everything that's going on. You know, she explains to them that she kind of like fills in the blanks of what she has already, you know, told them from before about the mess. Because what happens was when she said, I have a boyfriend, his name is Arthur, the sister says, I distinctly remember that name, and I've heard some stuff about him before. So she was dealing with him before, and now, you know, she kind of like filling in the blanks. So the sister was like, oh, yes, I remember him, right? So then they quickly hone in on the fact that Arthur doesn't have a job, and that she's taking care of him and taking care of everything else. And so, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. They said that it's a joke. They joke about her taking care of him and how crazy she is about the whole situation, and the fact that she is delulu about the whole situation, which I agree. You know, Arthur, on the other hand, he's at home and he's getting ready. He is going to he's getting ready to meet her family. He's a little nervous because he doesn't know what to expect, which for the first time when you meet somebody, that's always the case. So I get it. I get it. He doesn't know what to expect because he doesn't know what her family is going to do and what they're going to be like, you know. So he doesn't know if they're going to grill him and, you know, give him the 3rd degree, which every family should do that. And rightfully so. I just feel like that's how things should be. In a good way, not in a toxic, crazy way, but in a good way, you know? So today is the family meeting. We get to the family meeting and everybody is there. Grandma, grandpa, and 2 sisters, Hope, and then Arthur shows up. Right? And so before Arthur shows up, she explains to grandma and grandpa their situation as well, like she did her 2 sisters. And they ask a lot of questions. Grandpa's asking a lot of questions. Grandma's asking a lot of questions, rightfully so. I liked her family because I can clearly tell that her family loves her. And they are looking out for her well-being, which I like. I like that because you need strong people in your corner, especially when you're dealing with any of these situations, because he could flip out at any moment because he is not mentally stable. Yeah. Arthur shows up finally and they start right away with the questions with him as well. Yes, get to it. Let's get right to it. The sister was asking a lot of valid questions. She's making a lot of valid points, both the sisters, and the grandfather too. The grandfather was a correction officer. He said he know what's up. The sister is practicing law, so she says she know what's up. You know, he explains to them that he is a clothing designer, and you know, he explains that he's a clothing designer, aspiring clothing designer, and his sister quickly throws her under the bus, Hope under the bus, like, oh, but you're not working, you're not doing anything, you're not taking care of what you're supposed to take care of, you don't have a job, like what's going on? You know, he explains that he's looking for work and he's trying to support her the best way that he can to the best of his ability, because they ask, if you're not working, then how are you supporting her? He came up with a bunch of stuff talking about he talked to her and he have conversations with her and he do this and all that. He's mentally not able to support her properly, but that's neither here nor there. We can discuss that at another time. And the sister's giving it to him, and I'm not mad, you know, because if she's head over heels in love and hypnotized by the D, she is not going to ask the questions that needs to be asked. So somebody else got to do it. And I feel like the sisters was doing it, child. They was doing it good. You know, they openly addressed and explained to Hope, you know, explain what Hope told them about their relationship, which I feel like transparency is a good thing, because he needs to know where they stand, and they need to let him know that they have her back, which that's pretty much what they did. I like it. You know, they discussed the mental breakdown and the finances and other ways of support. You know, they said that Hope has a crazy dating life and history, that she's always been, you know, like this with her dating life. So they already know kind of what to expect from her, but they just want to make sure that she's okay, which I agree. It's good. They honest, and they are real honest, which I like, and they let Arthur know how they feel. I like that. Honesty. Keep him on his toes, because then if he knows how y'all feel and he knows that y'all ride for Hope, that he knows that he's not going to take advantage of her and he's not going to treat her ill, you know. The sister said she rooted for Arthur, and then she also rooted for Hope, but she's not rooting for them together. I hear that. I hear that, child. I hear that. I like their honesty. You know, as the family continues to grill Arthur was looking like crazy, and he's looking like he's looking to Hope to come to his defense. But I'm like, but she didn't. Which she just let it play out. Which she's just listening. Same thing he was doing. You know, they both looking to each other for defense and support, and neither one of them is coming to each other's defense. You know, it's crazy. Against his family. He said he defends her against his family, and I'm just like, but you really didn't defend him against your mother and your mother's pushiness, and the fact that she kept being adamant about you coming to stay with her, and the fact that she don't trust Hope and this and that. You didn't really come to her defense. You gave a little, but you didn't really push back enough. Not for me anyway. You know, her family is her support system, and they let him know that, and I like that. Period. You know, they let him know that she has a community. I like that a lot. You know, Arthur says that, you know, that he would have taken up for her or stepped in for her, but he's looking at her sideways because she didn't do it for him. And it goes off. My whole thing is, I don't think that you ride for her as much as you think you do, because when your mother was pressing her and giving her the third degree, you sat there looking silly too. I don't think your mental capacity is equipped enough to help her the way that you think it is. And her family she has a strong backbone in her family, and she knows that. That's why she didn't tell them about you. And they're going to keep her accountable and keep her on her toes. I just feel like there's a lot of dynamics going on in this situation. I feel like Julian and Christine is going to have an issue, financial issue, if he doesn't hurry up and get a job, because she has things to do, and she gonna move, like she said. Z and Troy, they have a lot more stuff to unpack than just what we see on TV. There's something about Z that rubs me the wrong way, and I feel like I said constantly, I'm gonna keep saying it, it's Z's world, and these are just characters in it. That's how I feel. Brianna is too young and immature to understand the severity of the situation with Daniel. It's not gonna work. Who else? True and Shontae is not going to work again. Shontae is dumb to have these babies for him, because he's just going to terrorize her, drag her through the ringer, and then leave her with those 2 kids. Trust and believe he's going to do it. Who else? Who else? I can't really call the situation with Letitia and Keith because it's fairly new. It's not much going on. They just got to deal with him being in prison for the next 8 months. So I don't know. That's my spiel about loving lockup, loved after lockup. Y'all get down in these comments and let me know what y'all think about these dynamics and these relationships, child. It's a lot going on. It is a lot going on. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.